Okay,
Let's see.
let's try this again. I started and I don't think I was live. So today we are going to talk about a brand new tool that you may have seen on Facebook. This is my Painter's Pal, and I want to tell you about it and let you know how wonderful it is and why everybody needs at least one or two. Hello everybody, I am Chris Hoy from Cupboard Distributing, and I am a designer, an artist, owner, and founder of Cupboard Distributing, Pixelated Palette e-zine, and the Scrapbook Outlet. So I kind of have my fingers in a little bit everything. Love to paint, but I do have some problems with circles and ovals, and we just recently started creating our own stencils. So I found that I needed a little extra help trying to pull everything together and make it easier. And I am always looking for an easier way to kind of create and make my painting a little less stressful, a little more fun. I'm sure you can all relate to that. I've been working on this design for several months. I have a lot of tools back in my studio that I use to kind of pile together, and I use one for this and one for that, and I thought, gosh, it would be so great to put them all together into one fantastic tool. So this is it, you guys. I think you're going to absolutely love it. Okay, when I first started out with this idea, I thought this would be great as a stencil masking tool. And what I mean by that, we've all had little tiny, see this little teeny tiny star? Okay, let me grab some paint here. And I want to stencil just that one little star, but you know what? I'm going to get it into this other little thing. Now what I can do is get a piece of tape and mask that off, but I'm not a real patient person. So I'm just going to get a little bit of paint here. So you can see where that little tiny star is. Let me zoom in just a little bit closer. All right, I've got that little teeny tiny star, and where this V is, I can just kind of tuck it up around that star, and then when I stencil, I have a star. The over stenciling goes onto my Painter's Pal instead of into that little star next to it. How cool is that? But there's so much more that this will do. Alrighty, so in addition, I've got a little heart right here that I want to do, but unless I put some, I'm super careful, or unless I put some tape there, I know I'm a messy stenciler. I know I'm going to get paint over there. So I can take the curvy part and tuck it under there, and I can go ahead and stencil the heart, and I'm not going to get any paint down here, and I'll have a nice crisp edge. So that's kind of the reasoning between the curves and the edges. You can go in between. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite stencils. You can tell I use it a lot. But look at all these little tiny elements. What if I just want to do one snowflake? Well, I can mask it off, or I can center this circle right over top of it, and I can go in and stencil it just like that. And when I pull it off, I'm going to have a perfect little snowflake. I've not gotten paint into the little feet. And you know, you'll always try to be careful, but you always have that place you're thinking, oh no, I got paint in there. Even if I wanted to do just one reindeer, I could go ahead and kind of position it so that I only get the one little reindeer. Now here's where having more than one comes in handy. I can grab another one, and I can just tuck it around there. I can isolate just that reindeer, so I don't have to get into other areas. This also works well on lettering. Sometimes the letters go down, like right here, it goes right into the little reindeer antlers, so you can use the Painter's Pal to kind of mask off that area as well. It's such a great way to quickly stencil without getting all the tape, and then you have to be careful pulling it off. I'm not big on all that. So using it with stencils is just awesome. It's a great tool for that. But because I wear contacts that are far away in one eye and short distance in the other. I have trouble with straight lines and circles. With this, I've always got a straight edge, so I can use this kind of like a T-square. I'll get the edge of the paper over here. Okay, here we go. So I can line this up flush against the edge of the paper. I know across here is exactly straight. So if I want to put lettering in or anything that has to be perfectly horizontal or vertical, I can use this right corner to line that up. I have trouble with the sides of a building, so I know if I line this up, my line of the building is going to be straight up and down. Okay, another thing that's really big right now are stamps. And this, let me pull this out. I've got a little tiny stamp. Pull it out of the package here. This one is a lot of snowflakes. It's a fun little stamp to have. But if I only want to do one snowflake, how do I just put ink or paint on that one snowflake? I'm just using a small cosmetic sponge. And I'm going to put a little bit of paint on it. And try to get this big sponge on that little teeny snowflake without getting it into other areas. Impossible. So we'll use this painter's pal. Just kind of cover that up. Look how easy that is. We could use the circle, but I'm just going to lay it on here and put paint on that. Now the only thing it has paint on it is that little snowflake. Oops, not enough paint. But look how it would have been perfect. I want it to be perfect, so we'll do it again. I think I'm almost out of paint over here. Get a little more paint. If you have any questions, I've got Lindsay manning the question and answer over there. And if she can't answer it, she said she would write it on a piece of paper and bring it over to me. Okay. Alrighty. Let's try that again. Press down, lift up, boom. Perfect little snowflake. Didn't get it on anywhere else. So this is ideal for that as well. It's such a great, great tool. Okay, so we can use it to mask off stamps. We can use it to mask off stencils, circles, and ovals. Oh my goodness. I have a real issue, especially with eyeballs and noses. So, check how perfect this is. You want a little tiny nose on this little gingerbread, just use a small oval. The eyes on this are a little bit small for these, but let me show you what I did on this one. The little tail lights. Can you see there's two? It's like a little rim. No, I did not paint that. I used this circle stencil, and then I put a smaller one on the inside for the red. So I did it first with one size, and then I just downsized the inner size of the tail light with a smaller size. And it's just really easy because it's translucent. You can center it and get it perfect. I am all for looking good and not having to work all that hard. Just super easy way. This is a little wreath I did. Turned out really pretty. Simple, simple. But I wanted all the berries to be the same size. So if you use I think I use this one right there. You use the same stencil. You can dip dot these, but then you get that dome and that thickness of paint. Not a big fan of that. So by using a stencil, I can, and I do tape this down when I stencil the berries. After it dries, then I can go back, and you can even stencil the shading and the highlighting in there as well. Just a simple way to create perfect circles every time. And you know, when your circles are perfect, your project's going to look good. This one was another fun one I did. I used the bigger circle to do the halos for the light bulbs, the little ornament for the hanging on the reindeer antler, the little tiny jingle bells. I'm telling you, having perfect circles makes a huge difference. it takes it up another level, makes it look a little more professional. So, you know, if you want to look good, use tools to help you. You don't have to be a perfect painter. You just have to know the right techniques and have the right tools. This is another one of my new designs. Look at those berries. They're just perfect. That's what makes it stand out and look good, is having those perfect berries on there. Getting into Halloween, using different sizes to create bubbles. How fun is that? The oval for the spider. Super, super easy. This little guy, look at those eyes on that cat. They're perfect. I know they're perfect because I used my template. Same thing for the pumpkin down here. Just a super, super easy way to create something, know it's going to look good, and you're going to be really pleased with it. Okay, so kind of went through some of my samples. Alrighty, so I think I've kind of quickly covered all the benefits of having one of these. They make great gifts, great price point. You can pick up a couple, have one in your travel tote, have one in your studio. Better yet, have two, and then you can use them to mask off different areas. I always have a couple handy. Just really makes my painting life much, much easier, and I don't have to work as hard. And we all love that, don't we? Okay, I think that's about it for today. I want to thank you for joining me. Keep an eye out for upcoming tips, tricks, and techniques. Create with Chris. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.